Welcome to the Winning in Business podcast. I'm your host, Kelli Risse, and I love talking to business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are winning in business. Are you ready to reach your next level of success? If so, join us on the Winning in Business podcast as I interview entrepreneurs, business professionals, and leaders who share how they've risen to success. Before we begin, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification button so you'll be notified each time a new episode is released. Plug in and settle in. You're about to be inspired to rise up to your next level of success. Welcome back to another episode of Winning in Business. Today, we're going to talk about having an attitude of gratitude. Yes, it is almost Thanksgiving, so it is that time of year when we are really thinking about all the things that we have to be grateful for. And as business owners and entrepreneurs, I want to share a little story about a client of mine. And, this client was in the phase of her business that she was all about reaching milestones, right? And closing deals and kind of climbing that ladder of success. And what was happening is that this pursuit of success was kind of overshadowing the small victories. And the challenges were viewed as hurdles rather than growth opportunities, right? Which is all about the mindset and kind of like that never being fulfilled type mindset that, we can get into if we're not careful. And so at one point, she had a significant setback. And so I recommended her going to find a journal because she said she used to write in her journal. And so I said, why don't you go and find a journal, an old journal, and just flip through it. And as she was flipping through this journal, she realized that she used to, at one point in time, have a really good practice of gratitude and really looking back and seeing the things that every day she was writing down the things that she was thankful for. And first of all, it was just the nostalgia of looking back and seeing where she had come to where she was to where she had come. Like that alone in itself is really powerful. And also she kind of had remembered just in how much better her attitude was when she was really doing that. And so she decided to go ahead and continue or pick up the habit of writing in a gratitude journal. And from that, she experienced more peace. And she kind of shifted out of that like relentless pursuit and looking at challenges as setbacks as really changing the mindset of, ooh, these are opportunities of growth. And really looking at all the things that she had to be thankful for, even when things weren't going exactly as planned. And through that, relationships with her team members got better, right? Because everybody felt more appreciated when you're expressing that gratitude. And also, even her clients noticed a difference because she was also being, just more grateful and appreciative of them. So kind of her whole business environment shifted. And, within that, then it almost became the journey was the success, not just the milestones, right? And the lessons, being so appreciative of the lessons that were being learned along the way. And, that is so powerful. And just the mindset shift around that transformative power and what that can do for your life, what that can do for your energy. And then we know that when we are out appreciating others, that how our energy then is infectious and it just goes out into the world. And so I think that's just a really good place to start in thinking about, okay, so what are some ways that we can foster an attitude of gratitude? And, I think, a couple things that can be really important personally for you as a business owner. Keep a gratitude journal and set aside a few minutes every day to write down, even if it's three things that you're so grateful for. And it doesn't have to be huge. It can be very small. It can be personal. It can be about your business. Just reflecting on those positive aspects of your life will really reinforce having that grateful mindset. Next, how can you appreciate others? And this goes out to your family, your friends, any employees you have, any partnerships that you have out into the community. Is it writing a thank you note? Is it calling and picking up the phone and telling them just how valuable they are to you? Just little things that you can do. And I think, how can you also do that for your clients? Right? Do you have a program put in place for a client appreciation? And again, it can be a card. It can be a discount that they receive, once or twice a year from being that client. You could do some kind of a special client appreciation thing for them, but just showing gratitude that they are doing business with you. When it comes to yourself, how can you find more moments of gratitude, just mindful moments, right? So, I think of all the things that here in the United States we can take for granted. And so when you pause and you are truly thankful for the food that you get to eat, for the water, the clean water that we get to have, the fact that you have a roof over your head, any little thing like that, just finding mindful moments can be so powerful. And then also, contributing. When you are contributing and giving back, and this can be as a business, this can be just, your family personally, it can be both, but giving back really can help. Also, just that act of kindness tends to just spread gratitude around. When it comes to business and looking at your business, if you are someone that has employees and you have, either morning meetings, weekly meetings, how can you start your meetings with positives? Because when you set the tone with positive and you're really encouraging that culture of gratitude, it changes the whole tone of the meeting to be very positive moving out. And then how people show up and how people react can be so much better. We talked about the client recognition program. Do you have an employee, a team recognition program? And, what does that look like for you? Rewarding outstanding employees for their contribution. We know that turnover is huge today, and people need to be recognized. People need to be rewarded for doing the great job that they're doing. And it doesn't have to be anything big. And then, have you ever considered creating a gratitude board? This is where you can put things up on your board as you receive them. There was a time in my life that I had this little bucket, and I still have it actually. It's just not sitting out on my desk, but it's a little bucket. And every time someone would send me a thank you note, would give me a positive note of encouragement, anything that was like tangible, I would stick in that bucket. And it was like, oh, my bucket is full. And I could go back and read that at any time. And when you can do that for others as well, like that is so powerful. And all it takes is celebrating people's milestones with them. Right. And, when you're sending that card, when you're celebrating them, when you're celebrating their success, when you're celebrating team accomplishments, then, you can post that on a board. You can put it in a little container, whatever it looks like for you. But I really encourage you to always implement this. I think one of the biggest downfalls that we can do is that we're only looking at gratitude when it comes to the month of November. And yet it's really important all year long because it's what sustains us personally. That attitude of gratitude, truly, like even saying it, it just brings a smile to my face. And you say it, see if it brings a smile to your face. But thinking about how can you be really adopting that attitude throughout the entire year? Because we know that as business owners, we often get caught up in the stress of things, and we have chaos in our minds and chaos in our emotions. And when you come back and you pause and you look at all the things that you have to be grateful for, typically the challenge, the problem, the frustration, it can diminish when you immediately bring gratitude in. And so, I want to express gratitude for all of you. If you listen to my podcast, thank you very much. If you like it, support it, if you share it with people, if you talk about it, I just truly want to thank you for doing that and just know how much that means to me. Also, if you have been a client of mine, thank you. And I will be expressing gratitude to you in a different way as well. And, just the community out there at large, even the podcast community has been really cool and really uplifting and positive as I started this podcast journey. And, you might have your favorite podcast that you listen to, but as podcast hosts and guests, we're all kind of connected in this thing that we're trying to do of really just impact the lives of others. So if you listen to any podcast, thank you for listening to podcasts. That's what I'll say. But I want you all to just please accept my gratitude for you. Have an amazing holiday. Think about gratitude anytime that stress starts to come in. This is a stressful time of year, and the stressors will come in because we're dealing with busyness, we're dealing with people. But stop, express your gratitude, and change your attitude. And then you can move about your day in a much better space. All right, y'all, have a great one. And I will see you next week on another episode of Winning in Business. Thank you for being a part of the Winning in Business podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to rise up to your next level of success, but are worried about increased stress, time for work and yourself and your family, not to mention being exhausted, I'd like to invite you to a complimentary strategy call where I'll show you how you can do it all. I'll help you reclaim time, keep your sanity, handle the chaos with ease, and move to the next level of success that you deserve and desire. I hope you found value in listening today. Please always leave your comments, feedback, or questions. We check them all. I want you to continue winning in business and reach your next level of success. See you next time.